Party people, what's going on? Samaj Marsh. I'm the founder of BlueDeathValley.com. I want to welcome you guys back to another edition of Inside the Valley, the podcast that's devoted to relentless coverage of A&T football. Of course, got my two co-hosts here to help me out. First up, former A&T wide receiver. He is a native of Greensboro, and he is the current athletic director at T.W. Andrews High School in High Point, North Carolina. My man, Dougie Fresh Brown. What's going on, Doug?
Hey, what's up, guys? Aggie Pride. We in the doghouse this week.
Man, the pride's still there, but the pain shows. I tell you, boy, I felt that one last week. Of course, we got the man in the middle, always speaks facts. Does not talking riddle. He is a longtime A&T insider, beat writer on BlueDeathValley.com for over 2 decades. He's the current president of the Greensboro chapter of the AAF, and just so happens to be my right-hand man, Mr. Craig Turner. What's up, CT?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's a Wednesday night countdown to this weekend, home opener. Big crowd, big game. Yeah. First conference game of the year, so we're going to see what's what for sure this week.
Yeah, so this is the brass tacks right here. You know, the rubber hits the pavement, right? So last week we traveled down to Disney World, or the headquarters of Disney World, at least, Orlando, Florida, and I guess we all had some reservations on what that game could turn out to. You know, we knew that we were undermanned and outspent for real, Dougie. That's the main thing, outspent. But I think unanimously on this panel, we all said that our biggest thing was that we could just come out in one piece, regroup. You know, if we did some good things, if we were able to play some new players, we just wanted to come out in one piece. And then we have 2 home games ahead of us. The conference opener against Hampton, and everything is still in front. But the theme of this show is called The Sum of All Fears, because Dougie, unfortunately, a whole lot of fears came to reality. Not only did we suffer one of our worst losses in over a decade, losing 68-7, and that number just sounds worse. Actually, it was worse than actually the number was, because we got dominated from start to finish. And Craig, to add injury to insult, we found out after the game that we lost not 1, not 2, but 3. Damn it, 3 of our starting quarterbacks. All of them in one night, one unforgettable night in Orlando, Florida. And that obviously sent shockwaves throughout the whole fan base. Unfortunately, guys, I got to be honest with you. That might have changed the entire trajectory of Sean Gibbs' first season in Aggieland. So let's start with you, Craig. General thoughts on the outcome and the ramifications of that brutal, devastating night in Orlando, Florida, Saturday.
Well, as I said last week, going in this game, the biggest thing my biggest fear was going in and getting a bunch of people hurt, and we suffered that in 2024 against Wake Forest. I think we lost 3 of our 4 starting defensive linemen and a couple safeties, and we were never the same. We just didn't, we just could never get back past that. I thought that was devastating. This one,
don't forget Marshall Glenn. We lost our quarterback. He threw an interception, tried to make a tackle in open field, ended up leaving his shoulder on that stadium turf over there in Winston. So that was a big one too.
Yeah, this one hurts. It hurts, and then again, it's not quite fatal. It's not fatal. We lost. We lost Braxton Thomas, who's shown a lot of promise. Champ Long, who had been struggling. Yeah. Jair Walls. That one was that one was unexpected, and to think that he played from what Coach Gibbs said Monday in his press conference, he played most of that game, all of that game, really, 41 snaps with a broken collarbone. That's crazy. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
But it speaks to him as far as his competitiveness is concerned. When coaches say, I'm looking for some dogs, he got one there, but he's done for the season. Unfortunately, he's done for the season.
Yeah.
So, but other than the three quarterbacks, though, we came out in good shape. I think our biggest problem.
So Miss Lincoln, other than what I'm saying, basically, other than your husband's assassination, how was the play, right? So I don't think we can minimize the fact that we lost three quarterbacks.
No, I'm not minimizing it, but I mean I'm looking at it from a little bit different standpoint.
Yeah.
Most of these let's face it, all three of these quarterbacks had very limited experience under center. So we were experimenting with new people anyway.
Gotcha.
Right. So what we've got now, we've got we're going down further down the list, and we're going to see Nelson Lane and Noah Sanders this week at quarterback, and Sanders was really the only quarterback in spring ball because everybody else was again dealing with injuries and that sort of thing. So to me, it's an unknown. It was going to be an unknown anyway.
Yeah.
Going in against Hampton. So I don't really see a lot has changed other than the fact instead of having 5 guys available at quarterback, you're down to 2. So, it was going to be, I hate to see it this early in the season, but the good thing is that we'll get 2 of these guys back.
Right. So that's what Coach Gibbs said in the press conference. He said he didn't. They had to do an MRI that was still pending at the time of the press conference, but he sounded from the preliminary reports that it was not expected to be season ending, and it was, from my visual, it looked like 2 non-throwing elbows for whatever it's worth. Both quarterbacks are right-handed, and they both left the game holding their left elbow,
left arm. So that to me would have been far more devastating because then you're talking about an entirely different animal. I don't know if you've ever had a dislocation of any sort.
No.
Doug, what about you? I think you have you?
Yeah, I had a few. No elbows, thank goodness, but fingers, shoulders, those types of things, man. It's best bet is that it slides back into place so that you don't have any long-term damage, but it's never fun. Those things to stay in place and stay connected in the manner they're supposed to be connected. But they were both 2 freak injuries, man. Some of it you can attribute to your opponent, but I mean, our 2 quarterbacks, well, the first 2 quarterbacks got hurt falling, right? Bracing their fall.
Really?
They're not to falling, and so some grace needed there, and it's a wet surface, and so your body has to adjust, and sometimes that the foot is different or the surface is different, things slide and things don't, you don't catch yourself in the manner that you try to, but if you can help it, you try not to brace your fall,
but that's your instinct. So it's like, I guess you almost got to be a stunt man and train on how to fall.
He's right. Tom Brady is big on how he would fall and take sacks to extend his career. Basically, he was able to extend his career and not take big hits, but also when he did take a hit, he actually practiced falling and kind of doing a maneuver like a canoe maneuver where you kind of bow yourself out and roll into your shoulder, right? Instead of putting your arm out, breaking your fall. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're going down, you're being sacked, it's another human being exerting force on you, right? And weight and pressure that's more than your joints or ligaments or body can handle. So both our quarterbacks were in the grasp or, doing something awkward to try to break the tackle or get loose. And
don't discount the fact that the announcer said this in real time was that it had been raining. It was still raining
all day. It was soaking wet. The field was soaking wet.
So the field may have been affected. It was soggy, may not have given like they expected. And
now it's still a great surface. We saw it. There wasn't a bunch of slipping on the surface. It looked to be a fast surface at times out on that field. But of course, it's not like playing on a dry field, man. And I hate that for those kids, man. Two great kids, man. And we know how much we were impressed with Braxton and what we thought he was going to bring to the game, and we wanted him to have that opportunity to play that game in Florida and amongst friends and family. And for Champ, Champ had the unfortunate the third turnover, but we were driving a little bit. He had a little momentum going, made a couple throws, and that was that before the fumble. That was before the injury. That was a tough.
Before I heard they were going to stick with him no matter what. I think it was his game to finish. I don't care what the score was. I don't care how many turnovers. I don't think the plan was to put Jai Walls in at all until he was the emergency quarterback. Like you said, man, it's just you hurt for everybody because Braxton Thomas, we saw how he performed, almost leading us to a season opener, this dramatic comeback, and we missed the field goal, the chip shot field goal. We saw him at the press conference, the way he carried himself, natural born leader. We were excited. We thought we had one, right? He goes out there, Dougie, and all of one possession, the first possession of the game, the first drive of the game, 4 plays. I mean, that's good Lord.
Well, I mean, if you want to be real about it, guys, the injury bug didn't hit us in the quarterback room. This past Saturday, it hit us in the spring, right? We lost AJ White and Austin. Before those guys, so it's a long list of guys that have.
Hey, let's do that.
Nice to see those guys on the sideline, though, man. Still active and still having an impact on the game. That's felt good about seeing those guys out there. So,
but Doug, let's go ahead.
The game, man.
Let's paint the picture for all the Aggie fans who might not be aware. So basically, I don't know if this is the curse of somebody. At first, I thought it was maybe the curse of Sam Washington, but this is his protege. He wouldn't want to curse Sean Gibbs. He loves Sean Gibbs. Somebody had an antique voodoo doll this spring, and they was sticking the hell out that thing. I mean, every day. Okay, so it started. We found out that the prodigal son, Austin Hooker, who would spend a year in Jerry Curl Nation headquarters, FAMU, he decided to come back for what would have been his final year of eligibility, and by all accounts, man, he was making some excellent strides. He had won over the locker room immediately. He was leading the all-season workouts. I mean, it's being everything you want a veteran quarterback to be. And I think the week right before spring practice is set to begin, he's out there working out, catches a bad snap or something, reaches down and tears his ACL. Okay, so it was a knee injury. And I'm not sure what his status is, but it's assumed he's going to be out for this year. He's now kind of assistant coach, almost a graduate assistant on the sideline helping out. So, KJ White, we bring him, he was out all last year. He kind of had a upper body injury in the Central game. So he missed all of last year. And then he comes back this year and was looking great. Looks like he's got his fastball back. He's got his legs. He's one of the most athletic guys in college football, not just HBCU football, the whole nation. And I think the weekend, the day right before the spring game, they do a trick play in practice. He ends up being a quarterback. He goes up, shows his athleticism, goes up 10 feet off the ground, comes down, breaks his leg. And they had to do emergency surgery that night. That's how bad the leg break was. That's right before the spring game. So you can put the timetable together. So that's two that was probably going to be 1 and 2 on the prospective depth chart out of the way before your first spring game. Oh, so speaking of spring game, then Braxton Thomas, who was a true freshman last year, got in a handful of games because of injuries, and he was coming back. We was thinking high things about him. He suffers a shoulder injury right in spring camp, and he misses the spring game, but he comes back, in this fall camp, he's looking great. We saw what we did last week, and of course, he lands wrong. He dislocates his elbow. He gets replaced in the game by Champ Long, who was a highly touted transfer quarterback from University of Maryland. He's a red shirt sophomore, maybe in classification. Did nothing but command the locker room and respect from everybody involved. By all accounts, this fall camp was end up winning the tense quarterback battle. He goes out, had a mixed outcome last week, lost his starting job, but still was kind of in the game plan. He goes out there, and like you say, Dougie, in less than quarter and a half, he leaves similar to Braxton with a dislocated elbow. It's the craziest thing in the world. So that's 4, right? And I guess that's our top 4. And then again, we have a true freshman who was in high school this time last year, Jai Walls from Pennsylvania. He comes down to fulfill in duty. It was just like, let's get us home. You ain't got to do anything special. Just get us home, hand the ball off. He ends up getting sacked or hit after the play and gets thrown to the ground, breaks his collarbone. And because he was, I guess, the only one quarterback who even made the trip, you only bring 3 on road trips, he has to finish the whole game, 40 snaps. And he found out, I guess, after the game that the severity of it, he's out for the year. So Dougie, I know we do some great recruiting, but have you ever in your life imagined an A&T football program where the top 5 quarterbacks are on the shelf at the same time?
I've actually have played through it one time before.
Okay.
So
you might be the common denominator. You might be the voodoo man.
Hey, my guy, I might be, man. Maybe I need to do something different. But my guy, B. Moyer, rest in peace, man. That was my quarterback who hooked me up with the 202-yard game, man. He was actually the 6th-string quarterback and was a outside linebacker at the beginning of the year. He played quarterback in the East-West All-Star game, but played linebacker the whole time at A&T. But he was a scout team quarterback for the guys at times. And, man, he felt good about it at the end of the year. We were not doing well, had suffered a lot of injuries, man, and somehow convinced the coaches to give him a chance kind of midway through the year and actually did some good things, man. So that was – unfortunately, it's never a good thing if you're losing guys like that. And you want your guys to be healthy, but, man, not in this manner of how we lost guys in the quarterback room. This is different. But it's not the first time, and we've had, believe it or not, guys, we've had some instances where we had some success with young guys, young freshmen who were able to come in and contribute and win games for us at quarterback. You think about Khalil Carter, the year he came in, we fell short. What was that? The South Carolina State game at home, Craig, when we got stopped 4th and 1 at the end of the season. But the kid had a great freshman year. You saw the promise, and I hate to lose Jai Walls, but guys, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you were gonna have a quarterback that's the next man up mentality, if he could have a strength and either running or passing, which skill would you prefer him to have?
If it had to be next man up and running or passing, honestly, you're gonna probably be surprised. But I would say passing because I don't want him running around and potentially getting hurt.
I'm gonna say running because I want him to have some escapability to get himself out of trouble, right? You don't want him to be a sitting duck back there. And his because guess what? If he's struggling to get out of the pocket or see things, he can't get away, right? You think about Kevin White Jr. when he came in as a freshman. One thing he had was those wheels, and it was a difference maker, right? It made up for him, not his inability at the time to help us get some things going in our passing game.
And let me ask you a question. But let me ask you one question. Let me ask you one question.
Khalil Carter, too, his freshman year, his leg was the difference in his ball game when he came in and stepped in. We're like, hey, man, I like three yards in a cloud of dust when he's running the ball.
But let me ask you this question. Has the KJ White, and you say he was always so fleet of foot, he was hurt every year he's been here. And he's always, you love the potential, but when you take that many risks with your feet, you're gonna be in harm's way. Not saying it's inevitable, but it just puts it's more of a it's more for concern, I guess. That's
he's
my
got
only problem.
one play or one injury that he's gotten hurt on contact where a guy fell on him and hurt his shoulder.
Wait, you gotta think he missed his true freshman year. He was hurt in that year
due to a contact injury.
I remember he was limping around the sideline. We
listed the last injury that was in the spring, right? He was jumping, catching the ball, came down, broke his leg.
Yeah.
All right. So that's different than having a defensive lineman falling on your shoulder and suffering that type of injury because you feel like he's injury prone because of maybe his structure.
Yeah.
Now, even with that being said, I take his athleticism, right? Like you don't do that for every guy, but a guy like Kevin White Jr., I take my chances because if he gets healthy, you know that he can take it to the house any minute. So
he might be coming back. That's the thing to Aggie Nation. He don't, well, let me say this. I asked Coach Gibbs in the press conference about KJ White, and he said basically he wanted to protect him for he don't want to rush him back in there. He's gonna do what's in best interest. But he didn't say it was over. He didn't say he's definitely ruled out for the season. And this fall camp, it was a 3-man battle. You can look at the game notes from the first week. It said Braxton Thomas or Champ Long or KJ White. So KJ White has been taking reps, and unless he had a setback, I'm assuming there might be a time
for him. What do we know about the next guys we have up? What can they do well? We do know that Kevin White Jr. can pass the ball. We saw it in high school. Yeah, he put up crazy numbers, so he can throw it too.
Right.
But we know that our guys that are next up, they can get it done with their legs. You heard Coach Gibbs say it in the press conference, right? He talked about the speed. So you got to be impressed with the fact that we were able to get JT Smith rolling with the Wildcat and also, with the direct snaps and also handing it off to him, right? Like that was a plus. He's going to be a player for us. We moved the ball. He had some plays. Just kind of doing it on his own and with the offensive line. So, I think we'll have a chance to move the ball. Craig, can you give me the recipe for doing chicken
for this week?
For our team? What is the old classic cliche? You got to do what 3 things?
Well, you got to stop the run.
Stop the run.
You got to run the football.
Run the football,
and you got to win the kicking game. That's it.
Win the kicking game. It has nothing about slinging the football around, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be more important this week than anything else because you're going to have 2 teams that predicate everything on a successful running game. Hampton is not going to throw the ball all over the field. Okay,
no.
Chris Sellis is gone. He transferred out. He took the NIL and ran.
Shout out to the Zellis family.
They're dependent. They are heavily dependent on Jaquel Snipes, a graduate running back, 6'1", 215 from Asheboro, North Carolina, of all places. Played down at Randleman High School. That guy's good. He pro good. But that seems to be the extent of their explosiveness. They're not quite. They're not what they were last year, where they could just score at will. They had great skill people last year. They've having to replace a lot of people in their backfield. They had a really nice game against Jackson State, even though they were outmanned in that one. But they kept it a 14-14 game until late in the third quarter. Then Jackson State, Jackson State's Jackson State. They just pretty much did what they wanted to in that fourth quarter and pulled away with a couple touchdowns.
But they didn't play JSU last week, though. They didn't play JSU last week.
No, they didn't. They played Elizabeth City. Yeah. And by a stroke of luck, they pulled that one out.
They were down 10 points at halftime, right?
They were down 10 at halftime, or they were down 10 going into the fourth quarter. They were still trailing with about 6. They didn't tie it up to about 6 minutes to go in the game, and won the game. And I did not see the film on it, but I read about it in different newspaper accounts or whatever. Elizabeth City gave up a 47-yard touchdown run with 36 seconds left in the game, and that's how they won. Now, I don't know. I don't know whether we're seeing. I don't know. We're going to see the usual explosive Hampton type running game, or are they in a kind of a flux situation, kind of like we are? So I don't know. But I do know Snipes is good, and they do a good job of creating space for him on the offense.
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier, I was kind of making a joke, but outside of the three quarterbacks, we did come out pretty healthy with, especially on defense. I didn't see any guys going to the training tent, the medical tent during the game, and Coach Gibbs didn't mention anybody to look out, who's going to miss any time this week. So, I mean, it's hard to compare, what our defense is, after playing Tennessee State, then going back to UCF, because that was Dougie, that was the track team. You were calling me the week before last, talking about look at these big guys for Tennessee State. Them guys look like little fat Alberts compared to what UCF had. Those guys look like Greek gods. They were chiseled, man. I'm like, where's the drop off? Like, I know they were a Big 12 team, but they weren't predicted to win the Big 12. They struggled in that first week against Jacksonville State.
Scott Frost back at the helm.
Good Lord, they had some talent. I mean, Dougie, they had some horses everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. So I don't know. I can't really say, our defense, came back down to earth after Tennessee State showing, because we were encouraged by the Tennessee State game, because outside those three splash plays, we kind of held them, pretty easy. But that was opposite against UCF. Them dudes scored quick, fast, and anytime they wanted.
Yeah.
So
they're to me, they're a top 15 team.
UCF.
Yeah. And if they get their quarterback back soon, they may be a top 10 team. That team is fast. I've seen a lot of speed before, but I've never seen a team with that much speed at the skill positions. And I watch Texas. And I've seen Ohio State. I've seen all these people. That's the fastest team in the country. I don't care what anybody. They're better than Oregon.
Listen. I can't say that for a fact, but I'd be surprised to see somebody faster. Because and you're talking about it had rained all day. It was raining during the game. You would think that would kind of bring them back down to earth a little bit. That would slow them down. Them dudes shot out of a cannon and kept on going. And man, it was impressive. Like if I wasn't a fan of A&T football, I would have had my popcorn to join UCF fly up and down the field, and then they was doing whatever they wanted to. So let me ask you this question, guys. This is something that came out of that game throughout the A&T fan base was, and Sean Gibbs, he mentioned it too in the immediate aftermath. Was it even worth going down there as a program? These pay games, as they say, when you're playing a Power 4 FBS team and you're getting a handsome salary to come down there, but you got to deal with the aftermath, whatever happens. We lost our three quarterbacks. In retrospect, do you think we have to revision, go back and rethink, our scheduling plan moving forward? Because we can't keep we got Georgia on the schedule in 5 years. That's not looking too promising. We got to get out of that game, because if this was a middle of the road Big 12 team going to Athens,
you got to be kidding me, man.
Well,
I'll let you guys go ahead first.
Go ahead. You tell me your opinion, because you played it.
My opinion and my perspective is it's about the players and their experience, right? Our question is it worth it? What's worth it? I guess if you're gonna define and draw a line and say, hey, this is the dollar amount that I would be willing to do something for, or this is we're willing to do Power 5 or Fringe 5 instead of 4,
like Group of 5.
Yes, Lamar Raynard and Cartwright and those guys, how they feel about playing a game like that. It's no question, right? As a competitor and for a college player, student athlete, right? That's a heck of an experience, right? No, it's not fun to lose or to get beat up.
Right.
I guess if you the guy that suffers the injury, it's not as fun. But think about the experience of playing in front of 44,000 and being in the bounce house, right?
Yeah.
Having the memory of the weather delay, right? And all those things that those guys are going to talk about that night forever, right? As long as they talk about this team or they were part of that team, they're gonna share stories about that trip and what it was like, man. And those moments are priceless, for those guys. I know we're putting a price on, how much we think how valuable it is or how much we think it's not a good idea. But as a player, man, you especially a player who may not get a chance to play at a Division I level or the FBS level, like that's their moment or their chance to play at that level. And it's a recruiting tool, not only for high school kids, but transfers, those FBS transfers, they still want an opportunity to compete at a high level and put good film out. We saw some guys that look comfortable playing out there. JT Smith looked like he belonged out there running the football, right? And so
Blitzer looked good out there.
Blitzer looked like he belonged, and you can see his growth. So it's not spoiled milk for everybody. Like some guys will get something out of that, and you think about a guy like Daryl Johnson in the year that we play a Division I school, or FBS school. Those things, those are big games for a lot of guys. And as a competitor, you want to be out there. And if you're shying away from things, you got to be realistic. And your coaches try their best to put you in a position where you can be successful on the field. And again, all of our injuries weren't just true contact injuries where a guy got demolished, right? Or sometimes you do have to make a business decision, but that happens on our level. We've seen us play against some teams inside the CAA and see some pretty bad matchups where we're like, we got physically dominated. And we've got big teams, gotten beat by teams in the MEAC that put 70-some points on us before, right? So,
And I think I know. And Craig, you jump in. I think at the end of the game, Coach Gibbs was dejected, but when they asked him, he was doing a press conference, and somebody from maybe the UCF people, they asked him the benefits of playing that game, and he was like, I can't think of anything right now because we just lost 3 quarterbacks, and So, what do you concur with Doug, or do you think we need to kind of like be more strategic when we start making these pay game schedules?
I think it's both. I think we need to be realistic when we get phone calls from a Georgia or Alabama or LSU or somebody like that. I ain't playing them people. I'm not gonna do it. I'm serious. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it from the standpoint. First of all, they're not gonna pay you what they should pay you, because if they're generating 80, 90 million, $100 million a year in revenue off their football program, and they're going to offer you $300,000, $400,000, you out of your mind. You out of your mind. I'm not doing that for that kind of money. You're going to pay me at least $850,000 at a bare minimum if I'm going to have to play a top 4 or 5 team or whatever, power 4 team, and you guys way up here, spending God knows how much money on your payroll, because that's what it is.
You got to
talk about the athletes that they have. They own the payroll. Let's face it; these guys are pros. You can call it whatever you want to. You can talk about, they're student athletes and they're there to get an education. Bull. They're there to play football. They're there to generate money and put fannies in the seats. That's why they're there. And they're being paid well.
Yep.
Very well. So, let's be realistic. Do you really want to prostitute yourself or your kids out for a payday? Because that's what you're doing.
We just said that's what the big boys are doing.
But we have the
only difference is the payday.
But
the only difference is the payday, though. Craig is right. He's absolutely right.
But here's the deal, though. Even back to when you played, Dougie, like Wake Forest didn't have NIL revenue sharing, right? So it's like the reason why I was so enamored by what I saw on the field, and I think about it now, it's like they should be having these studs because they have a student body of about 60,000 students any given year. It's a huge campus. They got all the Disney money in the world. They're right across the street from Disney. Yeah. So they got deep pockets. This is not this is not ECU. Okay, they got way more dough than ECU or in Charlotte. Okay, so I don't know if we ever have run up into this type of animal before. I know we always, as Aggies, rightfully so, think we can compete on any level. I just want the level to be a little bit more playing. I want the level to be more level, the playing field to be level. And, I don't know if prostitute is the right word, but I just feel like we got to make sure that we putting our kids in a position that's advantageous for them. And just getting, quote unquote, film against the FBS school ain't enough. Okay.
Well, I think there's some advantages to playing a FBS school yearly. I mean, I think you think about in the past. I mean, FAMU has played, Miami and teams in Florida years before we ever started playing schools. Right. And I think that does make a difference. And you look at, do you consider the Grambling State, Ohio State game to be different? Other than the exposure, which I think is a plus for Grambling to go up there and take the band. Right. And, they gained some exposure from going up there. But you think about South Carolina State and them playing South Carolina over the years, right? I feel like that has helped their program develop a certain toughness that they were able to play at the level of some of their peers in South Carolina, whether it be the Furmans of the world or the Woffors or Citadel. They had an edge in playing and competing against some of those FCS programs or 1AA programs in the past where, we weren't playing the same competition, I don't think, year in and year out, before 99 when we picked up like Elon and they became like a rival. Like we played somebody, it was Western Carolina, App every now and then, and if we made it to the playoffs. So I think you have to raise your level of competition. We've kind of done that in the conference, in my opinion. And we have taken baby steps before we started scheduling a Power 5. That was our first non-ACC opponent, right? That is, I remember what Duke looked like when we first rolled out to Duke. We were like, whoa, this is different than some of the tough FCS we played, right? We've been going down to Furman the other year, right? Like we're like, this isn't us playing Elon. Like there was a different level, a different style that we've got to get accustomed to playing if we're talking about, going to the next level. And then also, guys, right? Like when we scheduled these games and we saw some of these games on the calendar, like, we really didn't know where the program was going to be. I was excited about all of the games that came up just because I'm like, I want to see us on the big stage, right? But to say 5 years out, I mean, think about us in the last 5 years, right? 5 years out, we don't know what 2030 will look like. We don't know. But
I do have an idea of what Georgia's going to look like in 2030. So I don't know about us.
Now, what if people said that about Alabama 5 years ago, right? They don't look like you would expect them to look.
Do you want to play Alabama next week? Would you want to play Alabama with five healthy quarterbacks? Would you want to play Alabama next week? That's my point.
Derrick Henry ain't out there, right? They're not the Alabama of Saban's, right? Like they're not right now. They're not. Now I'm willing to say to go that far, but no, it's definitely a different level, man.
But Doug, another point too is that you talk about Broadway and when he first got here in his early days, those early years, he did play UNC, his alma mater, in Chapel Hill, right? Yeah. But he didn't play him his first year, and that's another thing too. When I say strategic scheduling, this was Sean Gibbs, get your feet wet, make a big splash year, get some momentum. That's one thing that we all said that Coach Vincent Brown never got, that signature win. So he couldn't use that mandate because every time he came out there, he was getting his butt kicked. So we was like, man, Sean almost beat Tennessee State in his first game, right? So all we gotta do is just come out of UCF alive, and then we can beat Hampton and have a good game against Central the next 2 weeks, and we back. So now you lost your 3 quarterbacks. You got boat race, and you're 68-7 on the ESPN ticker is tough. So then you say, so what do we get out of this? We got a check for $400, so we gonna blow down something. I don't think we. I'll talk about our athletic department in a second, but we gonna still need money after that $400,000, right? So my thing is, was it a recruiting tool? When we played ECU, we were able to get into that footprint in Eastern North Carolina. when we played Charlotte, we was in the Queen City. We had beat the biggest college university in Charlotte, so that's gonna help us recruiting. When we same thing with even Jacksonville State, we down there in Alabama now, right? So when we go to Florida, and when you lose 68-7 and all your players get hurt, does that help us, get some kid, the next Braxton Thomas? That doesn't look good.
Well, I think you alluded to something you just said when you start naming some of the past FBS programs that we've played in the past.
Yeah,
I think my thing is this: I don't have a problem about playing the FBS schools, but we need to play people who we at least have a competitive chance of at least being competitive in the game.
Yeah.
We don't need to be scheduling. Really don't need to be scheduling people that we know that that we don't. And Aggies, forgive me for saying this, we don't belong on the field with. We just don't.
Yeah.
I know Grambling got the TV exposure and everything when they went up to Ohio State last week. But I don't see any kind of way 70-0 helps you. There's no way in the world it helps you. I don't care. I don't care how much publicity you get from that.
They brought their band, and so it was HBCU band versus the probably most. So they might have got that type.
As a player,
that's all well and good. That's all well and good for the optics. But I'm talking about in the long run. Is that going to actually do anything for your program, or would you? I would rather play a Charlotte and be competitive in that game for $300,000. I'd rather play that game than to go up to Ohio State and get $1 million and get killed, or do like we did
taking $1 million
past week. This past week when we went down to UCF for $475 and got annihilated, plus losing 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't see. You can't convince me any kind of way that's equivalent. We know we can play with Charlotte. We beat ECU, so we can compete.
Yeah,
at least a little bit. At least we got an even chance of making a game out of it and possibly pulling off the upset. But when you start talking about these Alabamas, these Georgias, the Iowas, the Michigans, the Notre Dames, come on, man. No, we don't need that type of game. There's enough FBS programs in that group of 5 and independents and on the lower level of that FBS rung that we can play and be competitive and not get what we got this past weekend.
And Doug, I understand what you.
Ain't nobody want to go to Louisiana, Lafayette. Nobody want to go to Kent State anymore. We don't play the teams in the bottom 115 to 125 in FBS football. Yeah. Those kids at Grambling will always have a chance to say, we played the number 1 team in the nation when I was playing football in in college. We went up to Ohio State, the Horseshoe, and played the number 1 team in the nation. I got to see the XYZ on the sideline. What if you're a guy that gets to play against Colorado on the road when Prime was there and that show, right? Like those moments for our kids are special, right? Like if you ask any of those kids in the locker room, 100% they raise their hand and say, "Man, not only do I want to play in that game, that's the game I got circled on the schedule. Like I'm trying to make sure I make it to that game. That at homecoming, right? Like you want to play in those games." So, Doug,
you
cannot
predict the 3 injuries. That is not common, right?
The time was way far. We lost our entire defensive line last year in the first game.
But we saw injuries across the board with that entire team.
But let me ask this though: what about the timing, Doug? Because right now you have all these devastating injuries, and you haven't even had your first home game, right? And then on top of that, this weekend is also the first conference game. So this is double important. You don't want to come out the gate 0-1 in the CAA. You definitely don't want to lose to another HBCU because then you don't get we need to go back to the MEAC people on Facebook going crazy. And then it's a night game. You got the students who, you got 15,000 students now. This is their first chance to experience A&T football. And like I say, you're doing it with one hand tied behind your back because you want to go to Orlando and get that money. So now
all those factors hold true. Those guys could have got hurt regardless of whose opponent's playing. Listen, I'll tell you, it was physical enough the week before. They could have got hurt the week before in Tennessee State. That game was pretty physical on defense as well, right? Like we saw our guys take some tough hits in that game. Right. So I mean, again, injuries are part of the game. Yeah. We had guys that got hurt, in various ways. But now I do think the number matters, right, Craig? Like you talked about 475, but going up somewhere else and making $1 million, and that's almost a celebration bowl check. That's a celebration bowl check.
I'm with Craig in theory of his argument. When you talk about $1 million, I'm about to put that team on the stroll.
We going for $1 million, man.
Y'all about to bring Daddy his pay.
If you're going to play it, you'll see my column. My column will be out tomorrow. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with like I said, I don't have a problem playing FBS games. Yeah. But you need to think it through before you schedule and see what you're getting in return, because 475 wasn't enough of what we took down there for what happened to us down there. That's not enough. Not either from the entry standpoint or from the competition standpoint. It really didn't do much for us, other than, once you take the expenses out. Yeah.
Did they pay? Was travel included in that deal, Craig? Was that just for the? Was that? I remember the post you guys made, but was the travel covered? Yeah.
Well, the bands. Okay, so this is the confusing part. The News and Record earlier that week, they published an article that said, because everybody was asking about how much we getting paid, and they said we got paid $475, something like $425. I don't know. It was in the fours. $475. And so they also had a line that says part of the contract of this game was that the March Machine was going to appear, and their performance was going to be subsidized by some of that 475. So I guess so they were going to pay for the travel and the housing of the March Machine. For some reason, I don't know what if that was accurate. That could have been the News and Record just got that wrong. But the March Machine, they didn't perform. But News and Record said they saw the contract, based on the contract that they saw, that was a term. Maybe that term got renegotiated at previously. But News and Record, I know y'all probably watch this too. Y'all need to come for a retraction or a clarification, because y'all put that out there and then people were expecting to see the machine. And then, I wouldn't think about it, but at the time, some people might be like, well, shoot, I might try to find a ticket to see the March Machine, and that's false advertising. So, but I don't know if it's what happened. Hopefully we get some information on that. But Doug, your sister is part of you didn't have any feelings that they were gonna be there, right? You weren't expecting
it. Wasn't on the band's travel schedule. Now the band has a tight schedule, they make it plenty of places. So it wasn't on schedule. That wasn't in the final contract. So
I got you. So that was the News and Record. I mean, wasn't A&T said we're gonna be there and they didn't show up. News and Record said the machine is.
And turned out to be a good decision, right? Because that would have been
that rain.
For the band to be in that rain and instruments out and rain delay, just logistical nightmare. So
rainy night.
I know the team got back fairly late. So that's the other thing. That late travel. So worked out. The kids, they're back.
Yeah. So I guess this is a best segue than. As we're gonna get, but before I know, some of you people, some guys, sometimes you don't want to hear singing, but sometimes when you even go to a funeral, you have to play some music that soothes the soul. So we gotta back in here.
Oh Lord, I guess it's part of the job. I gotta suffer through this.
When was the last time you heard them say this play change the momentum. Dougie. And when was the last time they heard you say this play changed the outcome? All right, y'all. I want to add a little temptations to it this time.
Oh.
These three plays.
Oh, my ears.
Short and simple. Short and simple, Dougie. These three plays. All right. Consequential. Very consequential. All right. So these three plays for the unfortunate, depressing 68-7 loss to University of Central Florida. Play number one.
A couple shots downfield early in this game.
It didn't take long.
Early momentum.
We had an hour and 45-minute weather delay. It had some lightning in the area, and this place is called the Bounce House, right? That's the name of their stadium actually. And this place was rocking. This is a night game. Everybody's sitting around waiting for lightning to pass, storm to go. So this was like when we caught these guys at the wrong time. So we were on ice for just kind of like ECU that night. We moved this the next day against ECU, but this game got delayed. We played that same night. Packed house, 40,000 people, and they did not waste a lot of time showing why we did not belong on the same field as them, as Craig so eloquently said.
I think last week it just was kind of, they were off on some calls. I mean, even the first play of the game, they went deep, just a little miscommunication. See if they can get something cooking.
Jaden Nixon over the stove, explodes. Crosses midfield. Nobody's going to touch him. 6-0 Knights out of the gate.
And guys, I know he had an angle, but anybody who leaves Aaron Harris, one of probably the top 3 fastest guys on our team, that shows you these dudes are some damn gazelles. They just had speed to burn. And I don't even know if that guy's even a starting receiver. That this is a kickoff specialist. Hey, good night.
96 yards. Jaden Nixon.
Well, I tell you what, you want to get something cooking, some momentum here in the bounce house. Everybody's bouncing. The student section losing their mind. It's well blocked right here. Good patience right there. Good vision.
Here back. Hold on. I missed that first time. the first time. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's see what we got here.
Nixon.
Well, I tell you what, you want to get something cooking, some momentum here in the bounce house. Everybody's bouncing. The student section losing their mind. It's well blocked right here. Good patience right there. Good
right
vision.
there.
There you go. All right. So, I'm about to send a letter to the Big 12 commissioner because that can't happen, man. We could have won. You talk about three plays. That changed the game. Like I said,
over the kicker, tackled by the kicker, and that's just straight speed. You can't coach that. That's just beautiful, and the way to start for UCF.
These 3 plays. So that's play 1. This is play 2. These 3 plays, and this is unfortunately our next ensuing possession on offense. We get the ball down on our end of the field. Aaron Harris, he tried to return the favor on the kickoff, and he got blasted at like 25-yard line. So it didn't, it was a bad omen to begin with. This is 3rd and 10, and unfortunately, this is the injury, the elbow injury to our starting quarterback. Play number 2.
Tonight's defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, said, number 17, talking about Thomas, he's got our antennas up. And the antenna goes down
there you go.
Near the 12-yard line. Malachi Lawrence again, this time his first sack of the season.
Well, we talked to Coach Grinch, and he just absolutely loves both his rush ends. And you see that? I mean, that's just absolute force right there by Malachi Lawrence.
So elbows are not, unfortunately, supposed to bend like that. So we lost Braxton Thomas. They're doing an MRI. They were supposed to do an MRI this week. That was the word that came out Monday. And we'll find out his status. But right now it's assumed he will be able to come back at some point this year. And this is only week 2, going to week 3 this Saturday. So, you know, if we can get that right, maybe taped up and whatever, we'll be able to see Braxton Thomas. We saw some great signs from him. You know, that first drive, the only drive was kind of rough, but hopefully he'll be back in 2025. So the last of the I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Get well soon, Rex.
Get well soon, my man.
Bless
Naturally curly hair, Braxton Thomas, as Craig told us. But last was 3-3 plays, so it's 7-0. It's 3rd and 4. And watch this series right here, because it looks like we got a chance to get off the field and, you know, get the ball back to somebody, you know, maybe Chip Long at this point. But it's 3rd and 4, 11 minutes left in the first quarter, and see what happens here.
Last weekend it was big. Jackson.
Good
Brings
stop.
up 3rd down, or excuse me, 4th down.
Down. So good. We got to stop Dougie. Hey, bring the punt return team on. This you know, it's too deep for a field goal. 4th and 4. Obviously, they're going to probably just do the regular thing and kick the ball off and try again another series. So, you know, back to get the offense ready, about to go on field, right?
And I mean, fantastic protection all across.
He's like going to the sideline, Doug.
The offensive line, Big Paul, Rubel.
Doug, I don't see the punt team.
Germany, 6th year.
Why are you looking at your menu?
Ambassador
here
for UCF. It looks like, yeah, they're going to go for it here.
Are you ordering DoorDash? Where you going? Oh, what's going on? I thought he was punting, Craig. They're supposed to punt and fall down.
Shotgun formation. It's Montgomery to the left. He is a physical back.
No.
150 all-purpose yards last week.
Don't do this.
To the air go the Knights.
Don't do this.
Jackson. What a catch by Dwayne Thomas Jr.
Oh, no. 4th and 4. I guess the book is out on ANT now. If it's 4th down, just go for it, because no one respects us. Well, I guess you got to earn that respect, Doug, but no one in college football respects us. Duke did it against us. Teams last year, Delaware did it against us. If it's 4th down and not 20, somebody's gonna go for it. And they went for it. They rolled out and just that was even an easy completion. This guy made one of the best catches I've seen in a while. So
Pete, are you kidding me? It's 4th and 4. We're not gonna just, you know, nice little dink and dunk on the run, and drops a dime, and Speedy Dwayne Thomas Jr.
So those were these 3 plays for last week against UCF. The kickoff return, the injury to Braxton, which changed the whole tenor, and then obviously they went up 14-0 after that next play. So they came out swinging and did not stop. So as we said at the beginning of the show, we lost 3 quarterbacks in that game. And now we're down to, I guess, technically would be 2 more. We got
2.
So we got 2 more, right?
Yeah, and until KJ comes back, we got 2.
Right.
We got 2.
Right. He's not clear.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right.
And then maybe they have to activate Ryan Stevens to transfer from ECU this offseason. He played quarterback at Grimsley, took them to the state championship game. And if not for some cheating team over there in New Bern, it would have a ring probably. Got some folks out there in the East, don't like going to class, but so he has some quarterback experience. He might be a Mercy quarterback. He's only about 5'9", but we need somebody. He can probably do the job. But Hampton this week, Craig, they're not going to stop. They're not going to give us a bye just to get healthy, right?
No. Like I said, Hampton's was picked to be somewhere in the middle of the conference in the preseason polls. They got a second-year coach. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they got a second-year coach up there who came in and really turned them around last year. They ended up with a winning record for the first time in a long time. And they came into the season with some high hopes, but they were going to have to replace a lot of people. They got got hit pretty hard by graduation and transfer portal in the off season, and I lost some key players up there, but they still got a good football team. They're primarily a run first team. They're not going to throw the ball all over the field. They'll throw it on occasion, but they're going to run it. They got some good running backs. Got some big running backs, and they like to pound that ball. So this is going to be. It's going to be more important this week to stop the run before we do anything else. I think they're leading the league in rushing right now, and we're after these first two games. After that game Saturday night, I think we're next to last in rushing. So, but I throw out this game from last week against Central Florida because it's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's an anomaly for real.
Okay. I think we match up. I think we match up fairly well with Hampton, and I think it's going to be a case of who can execute the run game, but more importantly, who's going to be able to get something going besides the run. You're going to have to be able to throw the ball at some point in time. You're going to have an effective passing game. You're not going to need to throw bombs every 5 minutes, but you're going to have to be able to convert those second and mediums, third and shorts, and with everybody crowding the box in this game, whoever's got that good short passing game is accurate with the good short passing game, whether it be to the tight ends or the backs or the slot guys. That's going to be the key. That's going to be the real key. Who can execute the short passing game against each other's defense, because both defenses are going to be stacked against the run.
Yeah. Hey, so Doug, let me ask you this: when you went through what you went through, and when all your quarterbacks went down, what was the talk amongst the players in the locker room? I mean, was this like everybody got to just do more, rally the circle the wagons? What is the mindset when because usually the quarterbacks are leaders in the locker room, correct? I mean, they're not just Joes; they're guys. And you lose three of them. You lose three of them in a week, and on a Saturday. You probably have a leadership board. Is that correct to assume?
Maybe not. And one thing that we've been blessed with is a quarterback room that was full of leaders. We talked about that in the spring. And if you play the quarterback position, obviously you should possess some leadership qualities. And no matter who's taking the next step up, that's one thing about the next man up mentality is that somebody's happy for that next guy to get the opportunity, right? And a lot of times that's a likable guy, so you might be excited for that guy to get a chance to play. And we're like, all right, man, we've been waiting to see what you got, man. Let's get in there. And we're happy that guy's been working hard in practice, so that guy has a skill set that we've been waiting to see him get opportunity. I remember when Rico Watkins got his first opportunity,
Casino,
he had some talent, right? He stepped in Vegas, and you're like, man, wow, like where'd that all come from, and where'd that talent come from? So he was a third string quarterback in that game, and got an opportunity and stepped in and made some plays. But there's a lot of guys that they root for on the team. You think about Austin Hooker when he got his first opportunity to play, right? He was a guy that the team was happy to see him get in and make some plays. And when he
Dougie, imagine this: what if I remember he played, he filled in for QB1 Kenobi, Jalen Fowler in Charleston Southern game, and he played about 2 quarters. But in that first quarter, he drove down to the red zone on a read option. He had a read option to wide open Jakari Caldwell and hit him dead in the wrong place. It was his hands. What if he starts off the game 7-0 with a touchdown? They might change the whole trajectory of his life and career. And he ended up kind of, coming back down to earth after that play and struggling. They made a change back to Fowler. But like I say, next man up, you got a chance.
You got a chance. And, we've seen some stories begin that way. We always talk about Hooker, Allen Hooker, and his opportunity as a freshman. So, now granted, people knew he was special when he showed up on campus. But all you want is a chance. And I always say the beautiful thing about playing young kids or young people is they get all they know is what they did prior to that experience, right? And the success they had in school, and they a lot of times go in and just play, balls to the wall and let it rip and play. I know the coach a lot of times will try to control the young people or the young players and assist them in making that transition. But sometimes you just get a guy in there who goes in there and plays and does what he does, and it works out. And you don't know what failure looks like, or the guys that you're playing against are that much bigger, faster, stronger. Sometimes until you get hit, you might figure it out then. But I'm excited for our guys, man, and the next guy to get the opportunity, man. It's just kind of where I am with things, and this season, I'm excited about each and every opportunity that our kids will get to go out and compete, and try to get a win. Like Coach Gibbs says, try to get our first CAA win. We haven't been able to get one yet.
And revenge. We got revenge.
It's exciting, man. It's exciting every time we roll out. Even turning on the TV last week and knowing what we were facing against UCF, man, I was just as excited as I am this week and any other time we play a ball game, man. So, tough break for our kids, but we're still gonna go out there and try to do chicken, right?
Right. And so, Craig, this is what Coach Gibbs actually said about the quarterback situation on Monday at the press conference. Let me bring that video up.
Well, they're beat up. They had two guys dislocate an elbow, Braxton and Champ, and Jair, our freshman quarterback, broke his collarbone, so he's done for the season. The other two, they're not. They'll be back. So we're beat up, but we got to play a game on Saturday, and we signed Nelson Lane in this signing class, and we think he can get the job done. But it's not on him; it's on the entire team. We got to rally around him and make sure that we protect him and make sure we play complementary football. So we'll be okay. It's next man up mentality. If you say that and you preach it, then when that situation comes up, you got to live in it. I don't know if many people know a lot about Nelson Lane, but he's got a verified 4.3 40. So kid can run. Obviously, he can throw, or he wouldn't be here. Noah's a division.
Hold on a second. I don't know if he got 4.3 40. The dude's fast. 6'3". I don't know if. Okay, I always got to put a little disclaimer because there's about a handful of people on planet Earth who can run 4.3 40 in real life. But I think he's really fast, so that's a good thing. I don't think he's faster than KJ White. So
Division 1 transfer, from Delaware. He's a transfer, so these guys are capable. We're not changing anything. We're going to do what we do. Of course, we're going to figure out what they do the best and cater it around them. But changing the whole nature of the offense, no, we're not going to do that.
All right, so we got some video. Guys. I went back into the lab and I said, so who is this Nelson Lane figure who was highly touted recruit that 6'3" and runs a 4.3, if you say so, 40. Let's see his. He can scoot. I'm not knocking him. I just know that when I go to the NFL Combine, and it's like you can name on one hand how many guys run a 4.3 40. So we'll see. If we were able to steal a 6'3" quarterback who runs a 4.3 40, that's pretty impressive on the recruiting trail. All right, so let's watch some film, see how good he is. All right, so that's him in the end zone, making certain things happen. Nice footwork. This is straight from his huddle film, so I like that base he got. Throws a real nice spiral. And he is a tall gentleman, his play action, get his feet set, step to the ball. I like that. That's good mechanics because when you roll out kids, you want to step towards the end zone, not fade away to the sideline. You want to step over on that right leg, plant that thing, get some momentum towards the end zone. Got a good base there. Took that hit, threw a beautiful ball. So he has the arm strength, all arm strength you want at this level. Got his feet set again. Look, I like his feet, man. A lot of kids click their heels when they move around the pocket. And so for him to keep that wide stance, that shows he's been well coached. Okay. Picked the ball up. Defense fell forward and he got wide open. You know, I'm not sure the level of competition he's playing. Escapability. So this is where we see the wheels. There he is up top. Oh, spinned out. Did a little Lamar Jackson and made a play. Good ball. Yeah, that's good stuff. And here he is again. Oh, juking. Get out the way. And almost got to the end zone. All right, so the dude is as athletic as advertised. Watch a couple more of these highlights. I'm gonna see him run though. Forget about this going side to side. See, he's going out of bounds. Let me see. Okay, here's 74. We gonna time it. Let's see if we got a 4-3, 74. That's a burst. There you go. He's moving. That's good. All right. They ain't 4-3. It's about 4-4, 4-4-5, 4-4-7. Ain't no 4-3. Sorry, Dougie. I can't. I'm stingy with my 4-3s, man. Don't give them out like 10.
You're very stingy with your 4-3s.
Nah, I ain't playing that game. Yeah, there you go. So he got some jets, man. We good to go. All right, so that's Nelson Lane, man. That's his high school huddle film. He makes good throws, ran the ball, led his team. I'm not sure how far they got, but I think they were a really competitive team out there. Where's he from, Craig? Where's Nelson Lane from?
He's from Virginia in that Chesapeake area.
Okay.
They won a state
championship. Smith. Yeah, they were playing.
Yeah, they won a state championship last year.
Oh, good. Okay. So we got like a little pocket now. We steadily getting guys, playmakers, Monte Jones, KJ White, guys of that ilk.
River Run, or I can't remember the high school. I'll look it up real quick.
So that's the Tidewater area. He's from the Tidewater area. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, how does somebody from Tidewater area 6'3" with a cannon from an arm and can run a 4.47 40? How does he end up at A&T, right? And why was he be patient. I'm not bashing the kid, right? But why was he not even on the scout team to the point where he didn't even make the trip to Orlando prior to last week? So what do we have here, right? What can we expect? Is he gonna come in there and be this Heisman Trophy candidate? I believe, and this is my whole thought about college quarterbacks. I believe you at Division I quarterback, and you get a scholarship. You can throw the ball 60 yards. Everybody can do that. You can run a sub 540. Everybody can run less than 5 seconds in a 40, right? The key, the things that separate the great from the regular, two things, Dougie. Can you throw on time, and are you accurate? That's how you make your bones in playing the quarterback position. And so his deal, he'll have to, number one, know where the ball needs to go. Okay, so he has to have command of the playbook. Probably, he got here in the fall, probably doesn't know all the checks and everything. Once you are not, after the first week of fall camp, you're not one of the top 3 guys, you ain't doing too much. You're doing a lot of watching. I mean, you're in the meeting rooms, you're doing the pat and go in the beginning, but once they break out the 7-on-7 and teams and all like that, you got 3 guys who's getting a lot of reps, and everybody else is kind of like sucking it in and visualizing. So he probably has not even done, prior to this week, he's probably not even done a ran with the 3rd team offense. He's probably not even done a lot of 11-on-11 stuff. Okay, so if he's paying attention in the meetings, hopefully he knows offense. He knows where everybody needs to go, and like we saw in that video, he'll have to be able to throw on time. He'll have to take a 3-step drop, and as soon as that back foot lands on that 3rd step, he has to be able to make a decision. Is this guy open? If not, I'm gonna go to my next progression, right? Can he do that in real time when there's, let's say, 11,000 people, Craig, at Truist Stadium at night, and it's gonna feel like the Rose Bowl? This is his first time playing in college, and he's gonna his first college game is the first home game, and he's gonna be starting, and the whole world is expecting him to somehow lead us to a victory against Hampton.
Well, I think, the other thing we haven't mentioned is Noah Sanders.
We got him.
From transferred in from Delaware, another Virginia kid. Sanders, to me, and I watched him during the spring. I thought he had improved immensely from what he was when he first got here. When he came in with Brown, he is a guy who I think is a guy who hasn't played his best football. He's got the size. He's a big guy. He's got 6'2". The size. Yeah. About 220. He's got the size. He's got a pretty decent accuracy, I would say, in the middle range game. He could be better with the long ball, but that's not his game. He's one of those. He reminds me a lot of Jason Battle when Jason Battle was here. And came in, as a redshirt freshman, and took us to a MAC championship. So that's who he reminds me of. His style of play. He plays under control. He doesn't try to do too much, but he's got a little savvy about him. So I think I don't think it's incumbent upon either one of those guys to be come out the gate and try to be Superman, because I think that's the worst thing he can do. What we need to have at quarterback this week, we need to have quarterbacks who make good decisions with the football, take care of the football, not put it on the ground, because that's been the bugaboo that's put us in the position we are now with three quarterbacks on the sideline. That's what cost us opportunities against Tennessee State, where we put the ball on the ground.
And bless his heart, Chip Long played 2 quarters last week, and before he got hurt, he had three turnovers in 2 quarters, and you can't.
We've got to eliminate the turnovers. I think that's a bigger factor going into this game than exactly who's going to play quarterback. Because, like I said before, none of these guys have played a lot of snaps. The only guy that's played really a lot of snaps was KJ, and we're not gonna get him anytime soon. It looks like. So I don't think, like I said before, I don't think it's going to be disaster.
Disaster. Froze up, Craig.
It's a disaster in the terms that we don't have the numbers that we had at quarterback position, but I don't think it's a disaster as far as talent drop off. As far as the position is concerned, because again, it was going to be a learning process for whoever won that starting job, other than KJ. It was going to be a learning process.
Well, Doug, real quick, let me show you guys a quick video. Let me show you a video of Sanders, Doug, and you give me a little scout report when you watch this. Noah
is closer to a dual threat than most would expect. When he runs the ball hard, okay, you better give us some spring ball action.
Yeah, so this is all I got, man, because so he wasn't getting a lot of reps in fall camp, and he played. I think last year he was just kind of doing some handoff and running when he got in the game last year. So he's what's he? Is he a junior? I guess he's a redshirt junior. Redshirt junior from Delaware. Now he was a 3-star when he came out of high school, and he didn't really crack the depth chart at Delaware, so he came over here, and he actually was the starter for the spring game. He had 2 walk-ons who he was competing against. They're no longer in the program, but he showed a little bit of like you said, Craig. He showed a little bit of talent here in the spring game. Let's watch some of his throws. Nice out.
Noah Sanders' pass is complete.
I love this ball right here. This is 7-on-7, but still.
Sanders' pass is complete.
That's a good ball. I don't care how many people out there. That's a good football, right? Here's him in the actual live. Got his feet set, went to the side. Nice ball, first down.
Sanders pass.
Then hit a couple runs here, so you see his legs. You might see that Saturday if he gets to the game in the read option.
Sanders.
Maybe one more run. There you go, editor. There you go. Oh. All right, so that's some stuff right there. Noah Sanders, he and Craig, I kind of got the same instinct you had. Well, I was like, maybe Coach Gibbs is just maybe doing some competitive. You know, he's putting out some red herrings, as they say in the literary world. He wants Hampton to think we're going to go with this true freshman who was 6th or 7th on the depth chart, but really we feel a little more comfortable going with Noah Sanders, who was 6th on the depth chart.
I would be far more comfortable with Noah. He's an older guy. And you know, he may not have a lot of time as far as being under center on the field, but there's something to be said for maturity and age.
Right.
You know, it does have its place. If I'm him, I'm probably chomping at the bit to get out there this week. So it wouldn't surprise me.
This is why he came to school with A&T to get his opportunity.
I was gonna say that. Dougie. You know, looking, you always tell my kids, man, don't pray for a miracle. Then when you get an opportunity, you ain't ready. So I'm pretty sure a couple of weeks ago he was on the phone with his parents, like, man, you know, this ain't working. You know, I'm like, you know, I can't catch a break. You know, I'm not even traveling to Orlando. I can't. They won't even let me. I'm a transfer from Delaware, former 3-star. They won't even let me on the plane to go to Orlando to watch the team. You know, I'm not even on the travel list. And you know, they got these freshmen out here in front of me. So lo and behold, things happen. And you know, now you got 2 guys on the roster who are listed as quarterbacks who are healthy. And so whether they play the freshman or they go to Noah Sanders, the I guess the elder statesman right now, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. If you want to prove everybody wrong, but you shouldn't have got passed over. They shouldn't have went in the transfer portal and brought anybody in from out. They should let you compete. Whatever your argument was, now you get to show evidence that you were right. And so I would tell both Noah Sanders and Nelson Lane. This is me, you know, from my perspective. Okay, you need to watch all the film you can. Like this, the 2 things you need to do from now till Saturday: go to class, watch film. Go to class, watch film. You need to know not this stuff upside. You know, you don't need to know it like the back of your hand. You need to know it where you can't forget it. Somebody told me that you need to know where there's no way you can forget the stuff. All your checks, okay, all your audibles, all your reads, everything. That's all you got to do. Study your classwork, study your football film. Noah Sanders, Nelson Lane, in your dorm room and your apartment, every night, work on your drop. Your 1 step, there's going to be 2 drops. You're going to be having 90% of your throws. 1 step drop out of shotgun and 3 step. Get your balance, get your feet. Look at every play in your playbook and say, this play requires a 1 step drop, this route. This play requires a 3 drop. Just work on that, get your balance so it's muscle memory. Because you haven't got a lot of experience in practice. Now you got to do it now, you know, in practice this week, but in the dorm room, you got to make up for lost time. And then, Dougie, the main thing is you got to have what I call competitive rage. Hey, Doug, you ever seen that movie, World War Z, like a zombie movie, 27 days, 24 days later, where these zombies are just going after the main characters and they shooting at the zombies. They throwing explosive. The zombies, they don't care. They're relentless. They're just coming at you. That's how you got to be as a competitor this week. Like, I don't have no time for fear. I'm not afraid of getting shot as a zombie. I'm just trying to get you, the good guy. Nelson Lane, Noah Sanders, y'all got to be relentless and you have to have this competitive rage. I am going to execute. I don't care about the anxiety or the unknown or if I mess up. I just care about doing my job relentlessly. If you have that mentality, it's going to get quiet in that stadium. It's all about you and that tunnel focus. And if you have, and like I say, you guys got recruited for a reason. You You didn't fall off a bus and wind up at A&T. They saw something in you. Now you got to show them. Dougie, got a few minutes left. Are you tailgating? This is the first tailgate of the year.
Hey, we back.
You know we're back. All right. That's good news. That's good news.
I don't know how we're gonna pull it all together, but we're gonna pull it together. Now, we got a good team, man. Looking forward to getting back out there. Thank God it's a night game. Got some time to get it done. But looking forward to seeing everybody, man. Get the family back together. Hey, as they said, the boys are back in town, so it'll be good for our staff to come back and have a home game, man, to feel some of that Aggie love. Again, Coach Gibbs' first home game as a head coach. So excited for him, man. Excited for everybody involved, man. But we're gonna do it again, man. We're gonna do it again.
So Craig, man, what's gonna be your Saturday routine to pregame for that night game at Truist Stadium? How you gonna get ready for that?
I'll make my way over to the other side of the stadium to Dougie's.
Okay.
And hang out with the rest of the Aggies until kickoff. That's what I plan on doing.
Amen.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah, man. And Friday night, what's the deal with TW Andrews, man? You're 2-0 now, right?
3-0. 3-0, man.
Yeah.
Last week against Ragsdale, Craig, 8-6 baseball score. Defensive battle, man, but pulled it out at the end, man. It was exciting, man. Packed house. So yeah, this week we got Ben L. Smith at the crib, man. AJ Simmons Stadium, man. So that'll be another close game, close proximity to another school. It's actually Andrews Hall of Fame night, so it is definitely a Hall of Fame weekend, man. So looking forward to it, man. We got some work to do up until that point. So once I finish with the Red Raiders, then we'll turn our focus to Aggie Land on Saturday. So it should be a fun, busy weekend. Craig will slide in some rest sometime late Sunday, but from now to then, full steam ahead, man. We're gonna get off the show, man, and we'll start getting ready for the rest of the weekend.
Good deal. All right, Craig, got any final thoughts for us? Take us home.
Nah, just tell everybody to if you can make it out Saturday night, come on out. Aggies can really need your support. It'll be the home debut of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine.
Oh yeah,
I was over on campus earlier this week for one of our monthly meetings, AF meetings. And I'm telling you, they sound good. As good as they were last year, I think they're better. They're better this year. Their sound is off the chart. So come on out and see this. I don't know if the force is coming down or not from Hampton. They might come down. Then again, they might chicken out and stay up in Hampton. But if they do bring their band down here, then it should be a great halftime show. So. Just come on out and enjoy yourself. Come on out early. Enjoy yourself. Weather's going to be good. I understand it's going to be around 70, 72, 71 degrees to kick off.
Okay.
And cooling down, so you better bring a jacket or something with you.
Bring your jacket, Aggie Stadium.
It's going to get cold once that sun goes down.
Listen, don't tell the Aggie faithful that, because they're going to come there dressed like Frank Lucas at the fight night. You tell them it's cold, you're going to see the furs and the minks come out. So,
but it should be fun. It should be good football weather. Nice little crispness in the air around kickoff time, and going to be a good football game. I think the teams are pretty evenly matched. So like I said, take care of the football. We could be talking about our first CAA victory and getting back on and breaking this losing streak that we had stretching back from last year. So I think we'll be okay.
We've lost 4 in a row to Hampton. We haven't beaten them since we left the MEAC, so we got to get back on a winning streak with those guys. But yeah. All right, guys. So for go ahead and end the show now. It's been a good show. There's a lot of good information. Appreciate you guys as always. For Doug Brown, AD Fresh over at TW Andrews, the mayor, the president, Mr. CT Craig Turner. I am Samaj Marsh. It's been a fun episode. Therapeutic episode of Inside Battle. I think I I'm feeling better about things now. Talking to you guys.
Time.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to sneak away when I get back in town for my game Saturday afternoon. So I might be back on the highway and get a chance to go by the stadium that night. So hopefully we see everybody by Doug's tailgate. See you there. Don't beat me there. Don't meet me there. All right, guys. Till next time. It's been Inside the Valley. Aggie Pride. Peace.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.